always treat our workers with fairness and respect until workplace tragedies like this become a thing of the past. What is great about this commemoration is always the next generation of New Yorkers are here to carry on the torch of this great tradition. Please give a great round of applause to the young people who come here every year and make this a very special occasion.
Applicable to New York City's older buildings and occupancies, and at the same time incorporates rules pertaining to technological advancements in modern-day fire protection systems. Certainly even the most comprehensive regulatory requirement.
Many of you have been here before and joined us in this incredible commemoration that we have been doing for a number of years. Today's ceremony remembers the lives that were lost here on this site 103 years ago. But it also calls attention to the fact that there's a lot more work that needs to be done. We come together to not only to commemorate those workers who lost their lives, but also to focus on what is happening today in today's world and today's conditions. This year you'll notice a difference in the program because we're going to have some speakers here today, a person from a foreign country, from Haiti, as well as other workers who are in the low-wage industry that are dealing with some of the horrendous conditions that some of those same people have to deal with that perished in this fire 103 years ago. We're going to try to, I know it's cold, and we're going to try to keep the program tight, but you know we probably will run over a little bit. But I do ask all of you to stay because those of you that have been here in previous years know the incredible thing that we do at the end of the program when we lay flowers and announce each and every name of the people who perished in this fire. So we ask you to stay with us until the end of the program.
God of all humanity, you gather us here today from across our city and from across the globe, from our many workplaces and neighborhoods, from our union halls and our community centers, from our schools and universities, from our mosques, our synagogues, our churches and temples. You gather us in all of our magnificent diversity to be of one voice, of one heart, of one intention, to remember and to mourn for the 146 workers, mostly young women and girls, who perished at this spot 103 years ago today. Zichronam livracha. May their memory be for a blessing. We remember too.
The outcome was terribly tragic. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire on March 25th, 1911, was one such notable catastrophe. It was the type of incident that those of us in the fire service would classify, in retrospect, as a disaster waiting to happen. Even though the fire department arrived at the scene of that fire less than 5 minutes after it was reported, the 146 victims never had a chance. The building owner's practice of locking the exit doors to one of the main stairways providing egress from the building sealed their fate. We stand here today, as we do at the same time every year, beholden to a commitment to remember the magnitude of that loss. It is also a time for the FDNY to renew a pledge that the loss of those 146 lives would not be in vain. The labor laws and building and fire code requirements put into effect as a result of that fire still remain in place today. And although these regulations were originally designed to protect everyday workers from unsafe working conditions, history would prove that this was only the beginning. Shortly after the Triangle Fire, the FDNY became fully committed to ensuring that
the
a
very
tragedy
same
like
conditions that brought death to these garment workers continue to exist in this city and around the world. Workers United, the successor organization of the International Lady Garment Workers Union and the Amalgamated Clothing Workers Union, continue on a global basis to fight for the rights of working people and the safety of working people. And this fight will not end until workers are treated with dignity and with respect and rewarded properly for their work. And the part I love about this event every year more than anything else is standing here and looking down at the future of our country. And our future has never looked better to me than it looks here today with these students who are here to work with us. Continue to fight. We will mourn, but we will not just mourn, we will organize. Thank you very much.
Not just in New York, but all over this country, and that struggle continues to this day. We remember and honor all of those victims today, including Ann Nichols, a victim of the factory who lived at 126 East 110th Street, in the district in which I represent, and all those who perished. We are reminded that East Harlem, and indeed New York City, continues to be the home of immigrant women. It is their dreams and hopes that we must carry on. And in doing so, we remain inspired by their work in their working in some of the worst conditions. It is this inspiration and their lives that give meaning to signing a paid sick leave bill, which we did last week, the introduction of the car wash regulation bill, and in our fight for a living wage.
An injury to one is an injury to all. This year, we renew our commitment to that principle, to the idea, the reality, that no matter what our nationality, ethnicity, gender, or race, we are all workers. Our aspirations, our struggles for decent wages and safe working conditions are the same. Whatever we do, whatever we look like, wherever we live, whether here in the United States or in Bangladesh or Haiti or Cambodia or Argentina or Egypt or Italy, anywhere around the globe, we are all workers. In the language of my Italian ancestors, many of whom toiled in the garment industry, tutti siamo lavoratori. Your ancestors may have spoken a different language from mine, but they said and they believed the same thing. I stand before you today on behalf of the Remember the Triangle Fire Coalition.
in the FDNY, among the best trained, most dedicated workforces in the world. The untimely death of 146 hard-working people is an extremely heavy price to pay, but I believe we can say that it was not in vain. Thank you. Now, will the members of
and their best friend, Josie Del Castillo, age 21.
Two sisters, Serafina Saracino, 25.
Washington Place at Green Street,
Francis
in Greenwich Village.
21.
Lenny B for the LMS Extra Show.
Rose Messina, 31.